Today on R&B Reviews, Dustin Hoffman steps behind the camera directing his first film that's set in a retirement home with some of Britain's most recognizable talents. I'll have my review of Quartet coming up.
Problem. If we can't make the gala into the hottest ticket in town, this house could collapse. We could lose
I don't think I want to sing with Jean again.
They were married once, but it didn't work out.
We were different people then.
I have a brilliant idea.
What is it?
Oh, I can't remember. What is it?
Dustin Hoffman is one of the most respected method actors in the business, and he first thought about directing a movie back in 1978 when he tried to star and direct the film Straight Time. But it proved to be just a little bit too much for him to try and do both, so he ended up giving the directing reins to his friend Ulu Gaspard. But now Hoffman is just focusing on the directing aspect, and the result, Quartet, is an ensemble movie based on a play by Ronald Harwood, and I found the film to be a little bit of a mixed bag. The story is set in a retirement home for musicians, and the home is hosting its annual fundraising gala to keep it open. But that is only a string to hold the film together, as the film turns into a series of stories about some of the people that live there. You have Wilfred, who's a retired opera singer who is a little bit flirty with many of the women at the home. There's Michael Gamba as the diva former stage director. And there's also drama going on between Maggie Smith as a former opera singer who comes to the retirement home after an illness, and her ex-husband, played by Tom Courtenay, already lives there. Also, the actor who played Manuel from Fawlty Towers is in this movie. He plays a once famous conductor as well. Well, one of the pluses I found with Quartet is that the acting is pretty good. Since Hoffman's background is acting, that should not come as a surprise at all. The cast definitely puts life into their roles, and there's a lot of witty moments spread throughout, and I think the real locations and photography made me feel like I was there in a retirement home as a sort of visitor who's wandering around room to room, listening here and there to different people. I also like that the film portrayed the residents as people who continue to live life to the fullest, still singing, they're still playing their instruments, they're still spending time with their families who visit, or teaching music to young people that come and visit them. But one of the problems I had with Quartet is that I think Hoffman kind of overthought many of the dramatic shots. I mean, you get some constant camera pans to some arty shots, like somebody looking at themselves in the window. There's some quick cut editing that from one person in a room to another person, lasting only a few seconds, that kind of gave me a headache at times. And while I felt like an observer, I wish I felt more involved with the characters, especially the storyline with Maggie Smith and Tom Courtenay. I felt like I really need to care. I really need to care about these characters and a little bit some suspense with their drama, but I just really didn't feel it. And on top of that, I think Hoffman has a hard time with this film portraying a passing of time. For example, there's this scene where this older piano person, she's teaching this girl how to play, and then all of a sudden she's doing a recital, and I'm like, how did we get from there to there like that? It took me a while to realize that this was a completely different time. But one thing that did drive me nuts, I don't know if this is going to affect everybody like it did me, was some of the sound mixing. Some characters, when they talk in the room, they have this realistic echo feel to it. You know, you've been in a room where you kind of get a little bit of echo from whenever you talk, but another character, like let's say Billy Connolly's dialogue, sometimes sounds a little bit too clean, like it was done through a process called ADR, where an actor will redub their lines of post-production. That is quite common. Since I studied sound mixing in college, I was able to notice this, and it did take me out of the movie a few times. But again, I don't know if this is going to affect everybody, but I felt like the sound mixing was just a little bit off here and there. For a first effort, I thought Hoffman delivers an amusing entertainment film. It's not a great one, but I think I can see Hoffman continue to grow as a director. So, Quartet, it's a good entertaining movie. It's not a great one. I'm going to give it a mild see it in theaters rating. It's currently in limited release, and it's making its way around the country. So if it's playing near you and you want to go see something and nothing appeals to you, this one might be worth checking out. And what's kind of interesting is I've never read the play, but I just looked on a website that published it, and there's only 4 characters in this play, the quartet itself. So a lot of these extra characters were definitely added in for the movie, so I don't know if that's why the structure was a little bit off here and there, but it was an alright movie. If you have seen the movie Quartet, go ahead and post your thoughts about what you thought about it, or if you have any feedback for the video, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks very much for watching.